Autumn Leaves is one of the most widely recognised jazz standards, and in this video I'm going to break down the harmony and the melody, hopefully making it easier to learn and remember. Autumn Leaves dates back to 1945, when Joseph Kosma wrote Les Feuilles Mortes, a French song that translates to The Dead Leaves. However, the tune didn't really take off until 5 years later, when Johnny Mercer penned a new English lyric and retitled it Autumn Leaves. Today, Autumn Leaves is regarded as an essential jazz standard, with over 1,000 commercial recordings. Among them, some of my favourites are the Bill Evans, Doris Day and Wynton Marsalis versions. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check out the description below for a free lead sheet, the PDF handout, and links to the Harmony Toolbox and Improvisation 101 courses. Right, let's get started. So, first off, let's take a look at the key bits of information. Autumn Leaves is in 4/4 time, and it's usually called in the key of G minor. The form is standard in that it's 32 bars long, but the structure is a little different. It's A, B, C, and each section lasts for 8 bars. So we have the A section, which is then repeated, before we move on to the B section, and end with the final C section. So that's the key bits of information. Now, before we look at the A section harmony, we first need to understand the terms relative major and relative minor. Every major key has a relative minor, a minor key that shares the same key signature and is made up of exactly the same notes. To work out the relative minor, all we have to do is go down 3 semitones from the major. So, if we're in the key of F major, then the relative minor is down 3 semitones, D minor. So D minor has the same key signature and is made up of exactly the same notes as F major. Or, if we're in the key of B flat major, the relative minor is down 3 semitones, G minor. So G minor has the same key signature and is made up of the same notes as B flat major. And the opposite is also true. Every minor key has a relative major, and to work this out we go up 3 semitones. So, let's say we're in D minor. The relative major is up 3 semitones, F major. Or, like Autumn Leaves, let's say we're in the key of G minor. So the relative major is up 3 semitones, B flat major. So, now we understand the terms relative minor and relative major, let's get on with the tune and take on the A section harmony. Autumn Leaves is in the key of G minor, but the harmony begins with a 2-5-1 to the relative major, B flat major. As B flat major is the 1 chord of the cadence, this means the 2 chord is C minor 7, the 5 chord is F7, and the 1 chord is B flat major 7. The A section harmony is then finished off with a 2-5-1 home to chord 1 G minor 7. As the target of the 2-5-1 is a minor chord, this means it's a minor 2-5-1. As G minor 7 is chord 1, this means the 2 chord is A half diminished, the 5 chord is D7 flat 9, and the 1 chord is G minor 7. As you can see, major and minor 2-5-1s are made up of different chords, and this is because they're built using different scales. In a major 2-5-1, all the chords in the cadence are built using the major scale of the 1 chord, and in a minor 2-5-1, all the chords in the cadence are instead built using the harmonic minor scale of the 1 chord. I'm not going to get into the theory behind 2-5-1s in this video, but if you're interested, you'll find it all in the Harmony Toolbox course linked below. Right, let's hear the A section harmony in time. I'm going to put the root of each voicing in my left hand and the root, 3rd, 5th and 7th in my right. The A section melody is made up of 4 phrases, and it's a great example of sequencing. Phrase 1 begins by walking up through the G minor scale, from the root G to the 3rd B flat. Then it jumps up a 4th to the 3rd of the C minor 7 chord, E flat. Next, phrase 2 is a direct sequence of phrase 1. So every note within the phrase is shifted down 1 within the G minor scale. So this time we start on F, walk up 3 notes within the scale to A, and then jump up a 4th to the 3rd of the B flat major 7 chord, D. Next, the phrase is sequenced again. So, phrase 3 starts another note lower on E flat, walks up 3 notes within the scale to G, and then jumps up a 4th to the 3rd of the A half diminished chord, C. There are 2 different endings to the A section. A first time ending which leads back to the start of the A section, and a second time ending that takes us on to the B section. In each of these endings, phrase 4 is different. In the first time ending, phrase 4 continues the sequencing theme, but it's adjusted to outline the harmony. It starts a note lower on D, but this time walks up through D major to the 3rd F sharp. And then it jumps up a 4th to land on the 3rd of the G minor 7 chord, B flat. In the second time ending, phrase 4 instead closes down. All the phrases up to this point have felt quite open, but now's the time to close down the section and consolidate the key before we move on to the new B section. Phrase 4 starts by rising from the 5th to the 7th of the D7 chord, and it ends by falling from the 3rd to the root of the G minor 7 chord, B flat to G. Here's the A section melody in time. Before we check out the rest of the tune, there is one more chord that we need to add to the A section. But to unlock it, we've got to understand the cycle of fourths within the key. Here's the G natural minor scale. And now I'm going to stack these notes in fourths. So starting on G, a fourth higher is C, and a fourth higher is F, then B flat, E flat, A, D, and then back to G. This is the cycle of fourths within the key of G minor. Now, if I build a chord from each of these notes using only the notes of the key, then I end up with these chords. There is one small disclaimer, and that's the D7 chord. If I use just the notes of the key, then this chord would be D minor 7, but I've tweaked the third to get a dominant chord for reasons not worth getting into right now. Anyway, here you can see the autumn leaves progression. We've got the major 2-5-1, C minor 7 to F7 to B flat major 7, and the minor 2-5-1, A half diminished, D7 flat 9 and G minor 7. This leaves one chord unused, E flat major 7. And as we can see, this joins together the major and minor 2-5-1, as it's in between B flat major 7 and A half diminished. So, back to the A section harmony, we can drop in E flat major 7 to bar 4. Here's how the A section sounds with this extra chord. We unpacked a lot in the A section, and the good news is the rest of the tune is plain sailing in comparison. Now I'm going to quickly cover the harmony in the B and C sections. The B section harmony is a mirror of the A section. We start with the minor 2-5-1 to chord 1 of the key, G minor. A half diminished is chord 2, D7 flat 9 is chord 5, and G minor 7 is chord 1. Then we have the major 2-5-1 to the relative major B flat major 7. C minor 7 is chord 2, F7 is chord 5, and B flat major 7 is chord 1. The C section harmony consists of two identical 2-5-1s, and the target point is chord 1 of the key, G minor 7. So A half diminished is chord 2, D7 flat 9 is chord 5, and G minor 7 is chord 1. Now, before we hear the harmony in time, there is one more chord to add, and this is in the final bar of the B section. Here, we're going to drop in E flat major 7. From earlier, we know that this joins together B flat major 7 and A half diminished. Right, let's hear the harmony through these sections in time. I'm going to put the root and 7th of each voicing in my left hand, and the 3rd and 5th in my right. The B section melody is based on a rising melodic line that comes from the G minor scale. It starts on A, the root of the A half diminished chord, then rises to B flat, the third of the G minor 7 chord, then rises to C, the root of the C minor 7 chord, before landing on D, the third of the B flat major 7 chord. Now, the actual melody is made up of 4 phrases that just embellish this rising figure. Phrase 1 has a real D major feel to it. It starts by walking up from F sharp to A, before falling to D and ending back on A. Phrase 2 then feels more like G minor. It just alternates A and G before landing on the target B flat. Phrase 3 is then a sequence of phrase 2. This time it alternates the B flat and A before landing on the target C. Phrase 4 breaks the sequencing pattern. It jumps an octave on F and then walks down to D, the third of the B flat major 7 chord. Here's the B section melody in time. The C section melody is made up of 3 phrases, and unfortunately there's no sequencing in sight. Phrase 1 begins with a pickup and a chromatic approach from a tone below to the 5th of the A half diminished chord E flat. Then it falls through the A half diminished chord tones, from the 5th E flat to the 3rd C to the root A. Phrase 2 is just a semitone fall from the flat 9 of the D7 chord E flat to the 5th of the G minor 7 chord D. Phrase 3 begins with a pickup, and it rises from the root of the G minor 7 chord G to the 3rd of the A half diminished chord C. Then it walks down to A, the 5th of the D7 chord, and ends by outlining a G minor triad. From the 3rd B flat, it falls to the 5th D, before landing on the root G. Here's the C section melody in time. Before we finish, I just wanted to quickly cover some extra chords that you'll often come across in the C section. In bars 3 and 4, it's common to outline 2 quick 2/5s to energise the harmony. In the first 2/5, G minor 7 is chord 2, which means the 5 chord is C7. C7 as a 5 chord wants to resolve to F major 7, but instead we land on F minor 7. F minor 7 is the 2 chord and starting point of the second 2/5, which means the 5 chord is B flat 7. B flat 7 just about resolves to A half diminished. But to give this resolution maximum impact, we're going to tritone substitute the 5 chord in both 2 5s. In a tritone substitution, the bass moves a tritone, which is an interval made up of 3 tones, to the new chord. And a tritone substitution works as both chords share the same 3rd and 7th. So, in the first 2 5, rather than C7, we have G flat 7. And in the second 2 5, rather than B flat 7, we have E7. So now we have some nice descending chromatic movement from G minor 7 to G flat 7 to F minor 7 to E7, which then creates a 5-1 cadence to A half diminished. Here's how the C section sounds with these extra chords. So that's Autumn Leaves, the cycle of fourths within a key, and some tritone substitutions. Make sure to grab a copy of the free lead sheet below, where you'll also find the PDF handout and links to the Harmony Toolbox and Improvisation 101 courses. Happy practicing!